Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. And happy new day, happy new week. Very importantly, happy new month. It is the first day of the month of September, the Ember month, as we call them around here. September, October, November, and December. Starting with this one, we are here and we are very excited. I am particularly, personally, very excited for this journey. And thank you for staying with us through the past 8 months. This is the 9th one. Let's do great things together again and let's make, it counts. That yes, dreams are valid. Femi Ojo is my name and I greet you specially. You're welcome to the September edition, starting with this one of Morning Spring, where we look at critical matters and, of course, headlines from different dailies, all geared towards a project for Nigeria, which will not fail, should not fail, and if it won't, we must speak truth to power. That's why we are here. It's Morning Spring, September o'clock. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Femi.
Yeah. Good morning.
Congratulations. Well, before I go on, permit me, Femi, to be the first person here on this show, Morning Spring, of course, to welcome you to the 4th floor. Congratulations. I know it was a busy weekend for you, celebration of your birthday. Congratulations, and officially welcome to the 4th floor, as we say it.
Thank you.
Now, you're a man. They say life begins at 40, and there you have it. Yeah, that's Femi Ojo right there. Celebrated his birthday yesterday. So happy 40th birthday. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
It's a new chapter. It's a new chapter for you. I know the feeling. It's a new beginning. It's a new chapter, and of course, many more years. Brighter years to come. So once again, congratulations.
Wow, I didn't see this coming.
I know. I know this.
Thank you very much. And to the rest of the house and everybody, the Morning Spring crew especially, they were wonderful. Starting with the one Baba that you said we spent 200 years just a while ago. And of course, the rest of the team, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a beautiful Monday morning. It's a fresh day, a new week, a new month. September, the 1st of September 2025. September is gotten from the Latin word septem, which actually means the 7th month. Septem means 7 in Latin. So September is actually the 7th month in the ancient Roman calendar. But the Gregorian calendar, they came and, started everything and made September the 9th month. But ideally, March should be the 1st month. Then, of course, September, the 7th month in the ancient Roman calendar. But here we're using the Gregorian calendar, and of course, September is the 9th month. So happy new month to you. Welcome to Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. My name is Daniel Emeka. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this program. Of course, like Femi said, we start with newspaper review, then we go into critical conversations with stakeholders, critical matters that shape our nation as a people. Once again, thank you for joining us. It promises to be a wonderful month. I'm not just saying it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I don't know how to explain it. The energy is so much. I can literally feel it. You do not want to miss any part of this show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Very well. And of course, we are tending to the rest of the year gradually.
Absolutely.
This is the last quarter, correct? Okay. 3 into 1. And then, the last quarter starts October, December, rounding off the 3rd quarter of the year. And so, people will begin to appraise themselves. What have you done so far? It's not about putting pressure, but think if a quarter is 4 and a year has 4 quarters and you are rounding off the 3rd one, you should appraise where you're coming from. And that goes for individuals, companies, organizations, government institutions, and very importantly, the government. Where are you right now? What promise was made? Budget performance, security, health, every indices that makes human existence to be better. Do we have that at the moment? Or people are just running around the place because it's election. Even in 2027 election, it's you would think maybe December is the election,
Yeah.
the general election, with the energy, politicians and stakeholders are moving with the ADC, the APC, which other C, the LP, the PDP, and all of those things. But then you should appraise and see what have you done, where are you right now, and many things to really talk in today. The issue of the PDP convention is another, which the Abuja man, the Rivers Abuja man, seems not to be budging at the moment, and politicians will say, is that my way or the highway? The Sheyi Makinde tendencies are saying, we don't speak to, a name was used, I wouldn't say
Well.
that, and all of these things. But that's the opposition party, one of the opposition parties. I'm not sure you should still refer to the PDP as the main opposition party. It's not because of their structure, but because many will agree that they have not lived up to their billings. So maybe they are trying to gather the remains of whatever is left of their party and to make sure they are there. But many of their people have said it's a brand. Remember President Durande, we say it's a brand.
Absolutely,
It can never
yeah,
go down.
yeah.
But the brand is, whatever is remains of it.
Yeah, and talking about politics, over the weekend, the Rivers State had their local government elections, and Wike himself, yes, Wike, he was there on ground to cast his vote. And interestingly, APC won 20 local government areas, leaving 3. So PDP won 3. So we have APC with 20 local governments. So it's quite clear that Wike is in control of Rivers State right now. That's what people are saying. And some Nigerians, some eminent Nigerians have called for the cancellation of the results. For instance, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has called for the annulment of that election, that it doesn't speak it doesn't speak well of the people of Rivers. That's the point. So he believes it's a travesty, that's not really the wish of the people, that it was manipulated and all that. But again, that's the results so far. We have it from INEC, 20 local governments to APC, 3 to PDP. And it clearly shows that...
That'll be from RCEC.
Yes, from RCEC, yeah. And Fubara actually lost his local government as well. And people are saying, we can see, it's quite clear to see the finger of Wike in this.
But then, if, politically we know, and that's right, that's the politics of the APC winning. But, on paper, one would have said, is the Wike that should be, ashamed, because he is of the PDP stuff, and the PDP won only 3 is the APC. So I wonder what Minister Wike will say. Is it that he's winning or he's losing? Or when he's winning, he's losing? Or when you think he's losing, he's winning? I remember the one that was conducted that the court nullified under Governor Fubara as well. It was the APM or so that won most of those local government, and only one was won by the PDP. And his camp was saying, you see, this party is in problem at that time. Like, people didn't know what exactly people do. Now that the APC has won it, Wike statutorily is of the PDP. Shouldn't he be, angry that his party didn't win? But now, so many things. And then there's a conversation of when is Sim Fubara coming back? And now the man himself has given a date, or maybe reasoned along with when that decision was taken, 6 months after. I said September 18, the man will be back. So we wait to see. September 18 is just 17 days away. So it's not too far again. So there are many who want to question the legality of that election as well. The way the election was done. Does the state administrator, under democracy, have the right to conduct a local government election? Those that were there were fired, new ones were nominated, and many persons are saying, these persons, the ones you are putting there. So the legality. Now, many things that will look like landmines for Governor Fubara when an EV comes back.
Absolutely.
Because whatever the structure is, there's in the south side, then go say Nasi don't look.
Honestly. So it's clear that he's not in control.
Even when he's not there.
Yeah. So
even ahead.
We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it here. The best thing would have been for him to walk away, to resign.
Well,
if he knew he wasn't interested anymore. We talked about it here, but unfortunately, some people from Rivers said it's beyond Fubara now. That because of the powers that be, that he can't just walk away. That He wouldn't dare. He should be there while he's working for Mr. Nyesom Wike. Quite interesting politics playing out in Nigeria.
Yeah. So much to really talk about. Today, we take a quick break. When we return, we dive straight right into what the papers have for us. We're live on Morning Spring on our YouTube channel, at Western Spring Television Nigeria, and Facebook at Western Spring Television. Stay with us. Right, we will start the headline segment this morning by looking through the front pages and what they bring for us this day. On this day, we'll start with this day newspaper. Federal government, Northwest, North South, West as lion's share of Tinubu's project. Big, bold, screaming headline here. Federal government, Northwest, North Southwest has lion's share of Tinubu's project. And then there are riders to that. Maybe that will explain it. Budget Office releases data, says report misleading. And with 5.9 billion trillion naira, Yakubu maintains North not marginalized. Describes report as statistical error, deliberate incitement. Describes a report as statistical error and deliberate incitement, and Idris insists Tinubu fair to all sections of Nigeria, list key projects in every region. And of course, that's why we have data that should be verifiable. Say, if you are saying this, see what we have done, go and check it. This is where it is. And below that, you have the picture of Tobani of Aisha Hamid Toband, New Senior, Susu of Nupe, Susu Nupe rather. And then moving on, top strip, Chatham House, corruption undermining Nigeria's economic growth, eroding public trust. Chatham House, corruption undermining Nigeria's economic growth and eroding public trust, says government interference in inadequate funding hindering anti-graft war. Says government interference, inadequate funding hindering anti-graft war. And here, Union Bank finalizes merger with Titan Trust Bank. I think that's in the hill of the recapitalization policy of the CBN. And here, Keyamo, PDP in legal risk fielding Jonathan in 2027. El-Rufai, Tinubu will come third in presidential election. Festus Keyamo.
Is that a prophecy?
Well, saying PDP legal risk fielding Jonathan in 2027. And one woman I want to ask and say, in what capacity is Minister Keyamo, SCN, saying that, because he's not a member of their party? And if actually you think because of legal landmines, so as a party man, why not wait? Or it's just being patriotic by saying, my brother, don't do this. Because they're from the same South. Although Keyamo is from Delta, and Kule Jonathan from Bayelsa. Now, El-Rufai, Tinubu will come third in presidential election. So a very bold claim there, or as you called it, prophecy, because I think is the people of Nigeria that will decide how that will go. That should decide. Let me say it that way. Now, is a rider accuses Ubasani of disrupting ADC meeting in Kaduna. So much for Godfather and Prodigy now. And NSA, fact on fight against banditry disprove El-Rufai's those claims. That will be all from.
And from the front page of the day newspaper, we move to the front page of Daily Times newspaper this morning. On the front page of Daily Times, pension, Pencom DG, NLC president meets as labor insists on inclusion. Pension, Pencom DG, NLC president meets as labor insists on inclusion. You can read up details of that story on page 8 of the Daily Times newspaper. 2027, Tinubu's adoption stops no one from contesting APC tickets. Coming from Agungu, Tinubu's adoption stops no one from contesting APC tickets. You can read up that story on page 11. So they are saying technically that, well, we've adopted President Tinubu, but you can still, try your luck, just get a form, purchase the presidential ticket form, and just try your luck, even though we've adopted President Tinubu in the party. That's what they're trying to tell party members. Quite interesting. Away from that, still on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper this morning. U.S. closes embassies in Abuja, Lagos today. U.S. closes embassies in Abuja, Lagos today. You might want to find out why by reading up that story on page 9 of the Daily Times newspaper. FG denies bias. FG denies bias allegation, says Tinubu. Fair to all Nigerians. Federal government denies bias allegation, says Tinubu. Fair to all Nigerians. You find that story on page 2. Nigeria's broadband penetration falls to 48%. 2025 targets in jeopardy. Nigeria's broadband penetration falls to 48%. 2025 targets in jeopardy. You find a story on page 12. Ex-IGP Arashi dies at 69. Ex-IGP Arashi dies at 69.
Solomon Arase. Yeah.
At 60.
And I think at the time it was made the Police Service Commission chairman as well.
Boss.
Yeah.
Passing away at 69. Quite a tender age. May his soul rest in peace. You can read up that story on page 6. And on the bottom strip, NGX extend bearish run as investors lose 439 billion naira in 1 week. NGX extends bearish run as investors lose 439 billion naira, I beg your pardon, in 1 week. Quite unfortunate. Anyway, that's stocks for you that's investing. It happens everywhere. Even the crypto market also had a bearish run, having a bearish run the past week. So that is that about investments. Nothing is guaranteed. So just sit tight and, of course, we should be expecting the bulls. Let's just hope the bulls come in quickly. But for now, the bears are having it. And that'll be all from the front page of the Daily Times newspaper this morning.
Of course, from the Daily Times, let's check what the Punch has for us. Punch in it. The Punch has a report or headlines on the Rivers local government poll. Atiku demands annulment as Wike reasserts control. How do you explain this to a 10-year-old that there is a minister or there is a party and there is a man in that party called Yesom Wike who is still in the party called PDP, but is working for an APC government and is from Rivers State, and there was an election that was held in that same Rivers State, and the party in which the man is, that's the PDP, lost 20 seats, only has 3, right? But then the man is still in control of the politics, but he's of the PDP. How do you?
He's working for the APC.
No, what I'm saying is this: how do you make that mix? How do you make
how do you explain that?
Sense
Yeah,
to a 10-year-old. The man will be saying, "Sir, you say he's of the PDP, yes, but the PDP won only 3 out of 23. You say yes, and he's still in control. You say yes."
It doesn't make any logical sense. So the problem is with the PDP.
Wow.
Why are you still having someone who's working openly for another party in your party?
It's not just about working openly, but he's still the one in control of the same party. Yeah. Not just working, and he has dared them severally. Right. Hey, God, let them come. All right. Article demands annulment as Wike reasserts control, and Fulbara loses local government. APC strengthening local government. Areas PDP claims 3. So the APM that won almost all of those local governments in the
those are Fulbara's boys.
Ones.
Yeah.
So where?
They are nowhere. No, in fact, they didn't win anything. Nowhere to be found.
SCT ministers control temporary Rivers elders. Interesting, yeah. And below that, you have, scenes reminiscent of a horror movie. A Palestinian man evacuating the Al Rimal neighborhood of Gaza City left, and boys in the rubble of a collapsed building in the Nusrat camp for the Palestinian refugees. Following, an Israeli strike. And by the way, Israel, for whatever intent and logic, working hard on, it's not just about displacing the Hamas, it's about
They
taking full
want total
control
control, yeah, of
of
Gaza Strip.
Gaza. And that's taking it too far, many persons will want to say. But then here it is. You taking control of Gaza won't come without violence. And this is what we are seeing again. It used to be okay, we are coming here evacuate, but the total city, possibly. So when if actually they go ahead with it, so where next would they want to take? And these are the issues. I'm not even concerned about these. Many of the concerns for many persons, citizens of the world, is not just about who is wrong and who is not wrong at this time.
Mm.
It's
It's
about
about the innocent
carnage,
lives being lost.
the
Yeah,
carnage,
absolutely.
and of course, that place will never be the same
Mm.
again. Innocent lives that are being lost on a daily, and wherever the Israeli feel they are not comfortable with, even if it's a hospital, it's going down. Even
Absolutely.
if it's a school, it's going down. And now the other camp too are not budging. These are some of the
You can
things
imagine the
that
trauma
we're
the
seeing.
children are going through, especially those who were born. I mean, some of them don't even know what normal life is all about.
Yeah,
Because they're always moving from one camp to another, escaping
more than a year
bombs and
now.
all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's quite
Heavy
going to
shellings.
2 years almost.
Of course,
going to 2
blasting in
years.
your eardrums. And these are eardrums. These are some of those things that people will have to, get help with.
Yeah.
Those heavy sounds. And you talked
Yeah,
about
sometimes
trauma.
some of them will start, hallucinating, trauma,
yeah.
PTSD, post-traumatic stress
Passing-
disorder. Yeah, so it really, it's really affects a lot
It's a
of
sad
them.
time and a sad place to be. Now, infractions, federal government threatens to disconnect Gencos from power grid. This is battle supreme. Infractions, federal government threatens to disconnect Gencos from power grid. One thing is this: if the Gencos are not doing what they are supposed to do, and the federal government has made overtures to them overly, they must do what they have to do, even if it includes disconnecting them. But the thing is, before you take that kind of step, better have alternatives.
Absolutely.
Because you can't say you want to follow the law
Don't let people suffer.
and people.
Yeah.
That's my point. I think they should better think it through. If actually, or they are just making threats. If you want to make good of your threat and you think you are right after you have made different, efforts to make sure the thing is savage, don't just disconnect people. I mean, because when you disconnect Gencos, that's generation.
Yeah. So,
So
where does that leave the
who will you be
Yeah.
working for? In
That's the
whose
point.
interest? And these are the issues. Even when those in Abuja can afford that, many persons might not be able to afford that. Can you even? Who can afford?
That won't be
Fueling
that wouldn't be a
generators.
problem. Generators. Well, that wouldn't be a problem for the presidential villa. Solar power is there so that the president can work.
Very,
very important.
forward-looking
Very important.
villa.
Exactly.
Now here, Northwest leads in FEC project with 5.97 trillion federal government, and this is a back and forth on that narrative of the North be marginalized, and the federal government are, they have been saying, come and see, this is where the work is. And reps deny alleged planned showdown with speaker. Reps deny alleged planned showdown with speaker. Who are those that want to have a showdown with Mr. Speaker? All right. That will be all from the Punch newspaper for today. And we have so much to really talk about, especially one of the federating units